Hello, my name's Johnny, and today I'm going to give you some instructions on how to host a Quiz UK smart quiz using the software provided by RedTooth. What I'm going to do today is explain in short the quickest, easiest, and most simplistic way to explain to your customers how to actually play the quiz. Now, if you're a new host and you've never done this before, this is a guide that you can watch over and over again. You can watch it as many times as you want. It will explain. I've condensed this down so short to just give the very basic information, because what you want to avoid doing is waffling and going on too much and giving too much information, because if you do that, you just you just confuse everyone. And one of the things I learned from working on radio is knowing when to shut up, which is quite ironic coming from me because I never know how to shut up. But I'm going to explain to you in this video how to get the information across quickly and condensedly, if that's even a real word, and then you can get on with the quiz. Because some people spend ages explaining everything, they go into too much depth. I'm going to shorten it down for you. So in our quiz, as you can see on this screen here, there's 3 ways to answer your questions. So this is how I'd present at the beginning. I'd say there's 3 ways to answer your questions: multiple choice, letters, and numbers. Okay, so multiple choice is easy. The question appears on your tablet or phone, whatever you're using. I would probably just shorten that down to device, but it depends if you've got all teams using tablets or all teams using phones. Say phone, say tablet, judge it how you want. But if you say device, you can't go wrong. So the question and the options will all appear on your device. Simply tap the answer you think is correct. That's that. Done. Forget it. Move on. Your next one is letters. When you get a letter question, you get a question and all the letters of the alphabet underneath it. What we're looking for here is the first letter of the word you want to give as your answer. Stop there. Just let that settle, so that then they understand. Right, okay, so I've got to just put the first letter. Then give an example. So, for example, if I said, what's the capital city of England? You'd put L for London. Let it tick over in the brain. Yeah, I know what I'm doing now. Yeah, okay. Then go into the specifics of the letter question, and there's only 2 things you need to say. If it's a person's name, it's the first letter of the person's first name. And if it starts with a the, you don't put the T, you put the next word. So, for example, the Beatles would be a B. Right? Now, if you do the first bit first, right, then they understand what you mean when you say, if it's a person. I see so many people, they say, oh yeah, when you get a letter question, if it starts with a the, don't put the T. They haven't even explained that you've got to put the first letter of the answer. So you're saying something there, and it's like, what are you on about? It's not going in. It's only when you explain it in that order that all that makes sense and it becomes clear. So, again, I'm going to wind it back and shorten it for you. This is how I do it live. When you get a letter question, you get all the letters of the alphabet underneath the question. Just put the first letter of the word you want to give as your answer. If it's a person's name, it's got to be the first letter of the person's first name. And if it starts with a the, you don't put the T. So, for example, the Beatles would be a B. Right? And that's that done. Then move on to numbers. Finally, when you get a number question, simply type in the number you want to give as your answer, but don't forget to press the submit button at the bottom. And then all I do, just to cap that off, is say, look, I'll remind you when we get to a number question that you've got to press the submit button at the bottom. And then that's it. Okay? So there's your explanation at the beginning. The reason why we give this explanation at the beginning is because once we've covered these 3 ways to answer the questions, we then don't have to keep repeating that, because each round in the quiz is slightly different and there's different ways, and I'll explain all this to you as you would explain to your customers. But if we cover these 3 points at the beginning, it makes life a lot easier when you're explaining the other rounds, because when you're saying this round is multiple choice, they go, right, okay, they know what to expect. Yeah? And this one is a numbers round. Right, yeah, I know what to expect, so I've got to press the submit button. And then it just makes things easier, because when you get to a music round, for example, you're explaining the music round, you don't need to explain letters, multiple choice, numbers, because you've already gone through that at the beginning. So we cover this off at the beginning, and then we can move on a lot quickly and swiftly between rounds. Makes explaining each round a lot quicker and a lot easier. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to use my app to move on to the next slide. So once you've done all that, you then explain round 1. It's 20 points for a correct answer. You've got 10 seconds to answer your questions, and there's a 3, 2, 1 speed bonus. That's it. Don't need to say anything else, because you've already explained multiple choice, letters and numbers. So they're going to be under the assumption that it's a mixture of them. You don't even need to say it. Okay? and then you go through your round as normal. Easy peasy. Now, our next round after the first round is called Eliminator. Okay? It's called Eliminator because questions are eliminated one at a time, but you don't need to explain that. This is literally all you have to say for the Eliminator, and it goes like this. In your Eliminator round, it's all multiple choice. There you go, straight away. Done. It's all multiple choice, but you've got 6 options to choose from. Every 4 seconds, one of the wrong answers will disappear, which means the longer you leave it, the easier it gets. But because of that, the points go down with the timer from 20 to 10. You've still got your 3, 2, 1 speed bonus, and you've got 20 seconds to answer. Alright, that's it. I also sometimes add, I'll say the 20 points go down to 10, so let's say I'll do all multiple choice, 6 options to choose from. You've got 20 seconds to answer. The longer you leave it, the easier it gets, which means the quicker you answer, the more points you get. Okay? So, put it in words that you want to explain, but if you just go with that, 6 multiple choice options, every 4 seconds one of the wrong answers disappears, which means the longer you leave it, the easier it gets. The points go down with the timer, so the faster you answer, the more points you get. That's it. And then you can just bust straight into your round. They know what they're expecting, they can see the options, and they can watch them disappear, etc, etc. Easy peasy. Now, what we also do as well, I'm just getting to this now, is a sort it out round. Now, in a sort it out round, you get 4 options, and you've got to put them in a sequence. I use the word sequence because it kind of covers all the bases. So you've got to arrange them into the correct order. So all you do is tap them in the order you want to give them, then press the submit button at the bottom. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. Finish with that. Then your points, it's all there. If you get 4 correct answers, you get 20 points. If you got everything in the right order exactly, it's 20 points. If you only get 2 things in the right place, you get 10 points. And if you get 1 thing in the right place, you get 5 points. And regardless of how many points or options you get in the right place, the speed bonus of 3, 2, 1 will go to the fastest teams to answer. That's it. Then you just move on. Easy peasy. Now, I'm going to show you this. Actually I can't show it now because there is a clear button at the bottom. So if they start pressing things and they make a mistake, they can clear it and start again. You can tell them that at the beginning if you want. I don't find it necessary. Some people do. That's on you. But if you just condense it to, there's 4 options. You've got to put them into a certain sequence, right? Tap them in the order you want to give them, then press the submit button. That does it. That tears it. Everything else is there. They can see that. The points. Go over it with them if you want. It's really not 100% necessary. Also, as well, just something I wanted to come back to on the eliminator questions. So let me just go back to an eliminator question. Now, you'll probably get into the habit from round 1 of reading out the question and then on the multiple choice options, reading out what the options are. Don't read the options out on an eliminator question because you don't want to spend too much time with the options are there. Look at the beginning, they're on the screen. You don't want to give people too much time to sit and figure it out. So just read the question out, then press the timer. And don't read the options because you start the timer and then as you're reading out the options, they start disappearing and it just makes you look stupid, okay? So just don't do that. Turn that bloody down. Okay. So let's just go moving on now to the Magic Cups. Okay, so this is a little mini game that we play just before we get to our first break, and it's find the ball under the cup. It's really easy. Once you see it in action, I'm not going to start it because it takes ages and you've got to go through it, but it's dead easy. It just, a ball goes under a cup, it's on the screen, follow the ball, easy peasy. It is so straightforward, honestly, you don't really need to explain this one, but I would just say watch the screens, keep your eye on the ball, see if you can find it, and that's it. Give them the example. At the end of the day, it's not worth a lot of points, and if they can't understand a basic instruction like that, then you don't really want to be wasting your time going through it over and over again. So just follow the ball under the cup, easy peasy. Right, now then, the next round, the buzzer round. I regard this as the hardest round to teach people if they've never played it and they've never done it as a host, because this is where you have to really use your brain and you have to stay engaged, because the rest of the rounds are fairly straightforward and it is pretty much just pressing the next slide button and you can just sort of get through it, not really much effort involved. With the buzzer round, you need to be on the ball, because if you're not, you'll make mistakes, people will hate you, right? It gets quite complex. So I'm just going to activate one of my little Kindle tablets here and join the quiz so I can show you how it works. Now, the way I explain the buzzer round at the beginning, I condense it like this. I say, because remember as well, you've got people potentially who've never actually played the quiz, so what might seem straightforward to you and to people who play on a regular basis, you've got to assume that some people have never actually seen it before and this is going to be the first time. So you've got to give out the basics, but don't spend too much time dwelling on it. So for example, the buzzer round, I'd say, in this round you won't get any questions or options on your devices. You just get one big red button and that's your buzzer. I'm going to start reading out a question. If at any point you think you know what the answer is, you press the buzzer. If you're the quickest to get to your buzzer, I'll come to your table and get your answer. If you get it right, you get 20 points. But if you get it wrong, you lose 10 points. Okay, let that sit so they absorb it. So, right, I'm going to read a question out, and if I know the answer, I've got to press the buzzer. Right, okay, job done. Now, after that, and this is where it gets a little bit complicated, you've got to say, if you're not the fastest to buzz in, you can still get 10 points on every question. All you've got to do is guess if the team that's buzzed in has got it right or wrong. Right. And it's a simple thumbs up, thumbs down. Press thumbs up if you think they're right, thumbs down if you think they're wrong. If you guess correctly, you get 10 points. If you guess incorrectly, you lose 10 points. Okay? At this point, if anyone's looking a bit confused, I'd say just let's do the first question, because once you've seen it in action, you'll completely understand what I'm on about. Right? And then you move on. Let me just add a team to this quiz. See if this last person to use this tablet put in something clean. Unfortunately not, so I'm going to have to change it. Right, okay, so I'll put my name in as Johnny. I join the Wi-Fi game, and I need to get myself a jingle. And we're going to go with a little bit of the bubbly, so that'll be my jingle. Right, okay. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you what they see, okay? If we can just get the lighting right. Oh, it's a bit too bright because I've got the big light on. Right, so let's move on. So this is what you do. You press the next button. Okay, so the timer music starts. This keypad is live. If I press this red button now, it's going to go off. It's going to play my jingle. Okay? So I'd say, what is the main fruit found in Ribena? Hey. Right. Sorry. See, we all make mistakes. Right, okay, so I'm going to press the buzzer.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Buzzer goes off. Now, this is what you'll have on your host app. I just need to explain this to you. So, if you see, look, there's three options there. There's thumbs up, thumbs down, and then there's a purple one in the middle. So what you do is you go to the table and you say, right, what's your answer? Now, be very careful. Don't repeat the question. Don't finish the question. Don't say anything. All that you need to do is go over to the table and say, what's your answer? Right? They say repeat the question. Sorry, I can't. You need to give me an answer. If they can't give you an answer, you press thumbs down. The timer continues. Other people get a chance to buzz in. Right? If they give you an answer, so for example, me, I'm going to say, I think it's Ribena. So what I would do at this point is I say, right, the question was, what is the main fruit found in Ribena? The answer I've been given is blackcurrant. Okay? So before I say thumbs up, thumbs down, yeah, I'm going to give everyone else the poll button. So press the purple button, right, in the middle. Now what this does, it gives the other teams 10 seconds, right, when a thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me just get you another tablet actually so I can show you that. Oopsie daisy. Okay, has this one got a clean team name? Not that this one matters, you won't get to see it. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so let me just enable the team. Okay, so now I'm going to press the poll button. And what happens to all the other teams then is to get thumbs up, thumbs down, and 10 seconds, right? So we press thumbs up, we agree. Okay, so that way, because the answer is correct, we press the green thumbs up button on the app. The person who answered gets 20 points, the person who pressed thumbs up gets 10 points. And then obviously it's vice versa if they get it wrong. And that's like, literally just explain it in the way that I've given you at the beginning. There's no questions or options on your tablet, just a big red button. I'll start reading out a question. If you think you know the answer at any point, press the buzzer. If you quickest to buzz in, I'll come to your table and get your answer. If you get it right, you get 20 points. If you get it wrong, you lose 10 points. Right? And then if you're not the fastest to buzz in, you still get a chance to get 10 points on every question just by guessing if the team that's buzzed in has got it right or wrong. Simple thumbs up, thumbs down. And all you've got to do is thumbs up if you think they've got the right question right, and thumbs down if you think they've got the question wrong. And if you're correct, you get 10 points. If you're incorrect, you lose 10 points. So if you're not sure, you can just leave it blank. And that's how you do the buzz around. Now, bear in mind as well, and I'm just going to spend a little bit more time than I would on the other rounds on the buzz around because it's the most complicated. Remember that as soon as you hear that buzzer, you've got to stop talking. As soon as it pops up that someone's buzzed in, you've got to stop talking because they have to answer based on what they've heard. Okay, otherwise it just becomes a competition as to who can press the buzzer the fastest. If you're filling in the question for them, then it completely negates the point of having a buzz around. You've got to give them, like, they've got to buzz it, and then you've got to get that answer from them based on what they've heard. It makes things a lot funnier. You get a lot, the comedy writes itself, because if they've only heard half the question and then they give an answer, and it's then once you've heard the full question, it sounds ridiculous, everyone laughs. The buzz round is the best round. It's the most engaging with your customers, and it's the funniest round. You always get the natural comedy comes in. So make sure you do your buzz around correctly. If you need any more help on this, then you can get hold of me. If you're a host, then chances are you've already spoke to me at some point over the phone anyway. So if you need more information on that, or if you want a little bit of help or training on your buzz around, then get in touch with me and we'll go through it with you in detail, because it is what I regard to be the most important round. Now, at the end of the standard buzzer rounds, we go into a Wheel of Fortune round. Now, for this one, they need to be able to see the TV screens, okay? If you have a quiz where you don't have any screens, then you don't do this round, okay? You'll just skip this bit and move on. But it's basically the exact same as the buzzer round. The only difference is they're watching screens, okay? So, this is how I explain the Wheel of Fortune round. Letters appear one at a time. As soon as you think you know what the answer is, press your buzzer. That's it. Just add the caveat at the end that letters appear one at a time at random, regardless of how many times the letter appears in the puzzle. So what we're saying there is we're just making sure that they're not thinking, oh, well, it can't be, for example, feet, because there's only one E. There's maybe another E on its way, but it'll come in at random, not necessarily one after the other. In a traditional game of Wheel of Fortune or Hangman, you get all the letters at the same time. Not in Wheel of Fortune on here, they come in at random. So just make sure that you say that, okay, before you actually start the question.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That was Kelly Clarkson. Just wanted to get on with that. Okay, so snapshot is a picture round. This one comes next. So this is how we explain the snapshot picture round. You'll get an image on your device. It starts off distorted. It becomes clearer with time. The quicker you answer, the more points you get. Easy. Press the tap to answer button, which will be at the bottom of the picture. That will get rid of the picture and reveal 3 multiple choice options. I've already covered multiple choice, so you don't need to go over that with them. They know what they're doing there. Then what you say is, once you've got rid of the picture, you'll not be able to get it back. But the screens in the venue are there to help you. So if you have got rid of the picture and you need to have another look before you put in your answer, you can use the screens, because the picture and the options will be on the screens side by side for the duration of the question. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Okay, they will understand the concept when they see the picture. So we'll give you one of these. Okay, so on their device, look, they only get the picture and the tap to answer button. So they'll press that and then put in an answer. Okay, and same again. And then obviously once everyone's answered, the timer stops, and it was Serpico. You move on.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
There you go. Okay, then after that, we do have a game of play your cards right. Okay, so you get cards on the screen. So let me just bring it up for you. This is what they'll see on the TVs. Okay. So you see your cards there, look, and your team names are up there at the top. So what we do is, you say, this is a game of play your cards right. It's higher or lower. Now what we do is, you guess higher or lower. If you get it right, you move on to the next card. If you get it wrong, you're out. If you're the last team in at any point, the game stops, you get 50 points. If you and other teams all make it to the last card, then you each get 50 points. That's it. That's the basics. Now what you do is you say, if you want to guess lower, you press A. If you want to guess higher, you press B. Okay. Now we are testing a new version of the software where the options just come up on the tablets or phones and it just says higher or lower. It does make things a lot easier, but that's not in mainstream production yet. So you'll probably have the letters that, like the keypad will be on letters, will be A to F. Okay, all coloured. So you just say A is lower, B is higher. Now what I do is I say, if you can remember A is lower and B is higher, then you'll not have any problems. But there's a couple of other things that you need to explain to them just before you start, which is, if you go lower and it's a pair, they will stay in. If they go higher and it's a pair, they will be out. So A is lower or equal to, B is higher. Then you tell them the ace is the highest card in the deck. That's if somebody hadn't already asked you that about 4 times, which they always do. Is ace higher or lower? Shut up, I'm getting to that, right? The ace is the highest card in the deck. Right, so when you see an ace, it's high, and then you just crack on. So then you press the next button. Right, I'm going to go 1 lower, 1 higher, so the game will stop no matter what. Okay, and it's higher, so World of Pure Intoxication wins, and they get 50 points. Okay, and obviously you'd have a lot more teams up there, and it wouldn't necessarily be on the first card. Sometimes it's funny, you know, if you get a 2, everyone goes higher, and it comes out and it's another 2. That's it, everyone's out, game over, you move on. And it is funny, and it is a good laugh, and the games really get people engaged, and plus it gives people who aren't as clever a chance to get some points throughout that. Also, as well, we have a horse race. Now, once we've done the come on, move on. Then we have a break. Here we go. So your horse race. Choose a horse. Pick a horse to win. If your horse wins, you get 30 points. That's it. That's all you have to do. Okay? We'll not go into showing you that because there isn't really any need. It's so simple and straightforward. Then after that, we do a round called Birthday Bash. In this round, you get a celebrity and you've got to guess how old they are. We just want the celebrity's age, not their year of birth. Just the age. They're all 2 digits, okay? So no one over the age of 99 and no one under the age of 10, right? That's how you make sure that they definitely know they've not got to put 1964 or something like that. So you just say, we want the person's age, how old they are currently, not how old you think they look in the photograph, right? Just their current age. Now, you don't have to get the exact answer. You have to be the closest out of all the teams to the correct answer. Closest to the correct answer gets 30 points. Second closest gets 21. Third closest gets 12. Easy. Then what you have to add to that is, in the event of a tie, points will be given to the team that answers the quickest. Now, again, when you're explaining these rounds, the best thing to do is just give a quick example and then they get it. So I would then say, for example, if 4 teams all got the answer exactly right on the nose, the slowest team to answer would not get any points, and the other 3 would be divided in terms of how fast they answered. So it's closest to the correct answer first, then speed after. What I mean by that and this is how I explain it. I say, what I mean by all of that is don't take too long to put in your answer, because if you don't answer quick enough, you might not get any points, because if other people have already beat you, that's all I say. That's it. Just answer as quick as you can, and then that'll affect whether or not you get any points, and if so, how many. And then you bring the celebrity up. Okay, so here's your first one. James Tompkins. He's a football player. I'm just going to turn my speakers down a little bit. So they press the tap to answer button at the bottom of the picture. They get a number keypad. They put in their answer, and just remind them to press the submit button at the bottom, because if they don't submit, their answer will not come through. Now, if you look at the top there, you can see on the screen, World of Pure Intoxication did not submit an answer quick enough. They've got no chance of getting any points. They've got to press the submit button on the number keypad. Hammer that home while the timer's going. Put in your answer, press the submit. Don't forget to press submit. If in doubt, press it twice. Just press the submit button. Okay, so he was 34. So I was the closest with 34. Then underneath you'd have the other two closest teams, and that's it. Okay. Then we do countdown. Okay. So countdown is a anagram. Get an anagram on the screens. Again, they need the TVs for this one. They've got to put the first letter of the word they want to give as the answer. Now the points do reduce from 30 to 10. Alright? So the quicker they answer, the more points they get. The reason why we do that is because the anagram actually unscrambles. So what I say is, the word starts off scrambled, but it will unscramble itself with time. So if you rubbish at countdown, like me, if you leave it for a bit, eventually it will start looking like the word that it's supposed to look like. Because of that, the points go down from 30 to 10 with the timer. So the faster you answer, the more points you get. That's countdown. That is it. And then I'll just show you one. Just take 30 seconds. So this is what they see. And then obviously they've got the number keypad there. The letter keypad, so we want the first letter of the word they want to give us the answer. So this one, for example, is currently. So we're going to press C on mine, and we're going to press C on the other one. Now the timer runs all the way through on these, so you have to sit and watch people suffer, realising that they've got the wrong answer. Okay, so it's currently, there you go, fastest two. There you go.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Okay, now when we do a music round, all the music is installed in the software, so you don't need to play anything. It all starts automatically with the timer. Okay, and all you do, 30 points going down to 1. Answer as quick as you can to get the most points. That's it. Don't need to see anything else. That is literally it. That is the music round in a nutshell. So we'll breeze past that one, and okay, then we have our final round, which we call the nerd round, which is exactly the same as the first round. 20 points for correct answer, 10 seconds to answer, and a 3, 2, 1 speed bonus. But some of these questions are a bit harder. Okay, so that's it. Do you hear what I just said there? 20 points for a correct answer, 10 seconds to answer, 3, 2, 1 speed bonus. Done. Go through the questions. Then, at the end of that, the final part of the final round, final quiz, final is the wager section. 5 questions, and before each question you have to choose what percentage of your points you're prepared to gamble on the question. Okay, so then you press your next slide and show them this, right? You choose what percentage of your points you're prepared to risk on a question about music. You can see it says music in brackets there. If you bet 50%, you'll gain 50% of your current score if you get it right. But if you get it wrong, you'll lose half of your points. You don't have to gamble any of your points. If you go with A, you can play it safe, and that's it. Always push them. If you're going to gamble your points, make sure you put in an answer, because you'll lose the points if you don't answer. Just make sure you're specific on that. Okay? And then, at the end of that round, we do have what we call our final question, which is a number question, and it's the nearest to the correct answer, just like the birthday bash round. So there's 100 points for the team that gets the answer the closest. Okay, and then it's just a number question, but there's only one person gets that one. It's not 3 like on the birthday bash round. And that's it. That's how you do the quiz. Then at the end you read out the scores, then you do the top 3. Okay, so you would go to this part, you would read out your scores up until number 4, then you get this little graphic. Okay, there's only 2 there because we've only got 2 teams. So second place, World of Pure Intoxication, which means your winners this evening are Johnny.
A little bit of the
And I'm
bubbly.
doing 10 points. And that, my friends, is the end of this little presentation. Just going to turn that off because it's doing my head in. Now, if you need any more information, then please get hold of me. I will give you any extra training that you need. But if you follow this video, rewatch it as many times as you need and get that script in your head. But keep it brief. I must emphasise that I know I've waffled on today and I have had you for half an hour, which is a ridiculous amount of time, so it doesn't take that long, but I have gone into a little bit more detail than you would normally. Make sure you keep it brief, condense it, okay, but make sure you hit the important key aspects of each round and explain it in a way that they can understand it without without overdoing it on the information, right? Easy. Message me if you need any help, and I will speak to you soon.